everyone, Karnak with another Star Wars Armada Explained. This time we're going to look at the Fleet Support card, CommsNet. How do you know it's a Fleet Support card? If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the card, you will see the Fleet Support symbol. CommsNet costs 2 points. And remember, Fleet Supports currently can only be equipped to flotillas, so only Gazanti ships and only GR-75s. So the card reads, after the reveal command dial step, you may remove one command token from this ship to assign a matching token to another friendly ship at distance 1 to 5. There is one card clarification for this card. It reads as follows. This effect can only be resolved after the reveal command dial step of the ship with this card equipped. And they had to make that clarification because, so let's walk through how the card works and potentially where some people, maybe not understand how the timing works. So, for example, we'll say this Gazanti already has a navigate token, and say it wants to give this navigate token to that Star Destroyer. Well, you check to see if you're in distance 1 to 5 of the ship. Turn that off here. So check from the Gazanti itself. And if you check, you'll see that distance 1 is the black here. Distance 2 is the red circle. Distance 3 is the orange. Distance 4 is kind of this peach color. And distance 5 is the yellow. And if you look, and we're going to go ahead and just make a copy of this ship so you can brighten that up so you can see that this Gazanti is distance 1 to 5 of the Star Destroyer. Because when measuring distance, at least for this card, you measure from the plastic base to the plastic base. You're not measuring from cardboard to cardboard because you're not making an attack. This is a helpful thing. So you don't need that's something that some people get confused about sometimes, is they'll measure from their cardboard like, oh, it doesn't reach. Well, no, if you had measured from your plastic over to the other plastic, that will count. Just remember, shield dials do not count for that. Only the main physical base itself counts for that ranging, so you don't range from the tip of the shield dial to the other tip of the shield dial. That will not work. It has to be from the physical plastic base itself to the physical plastic base. So if you see that you are in range, you can then pass that token over to the Star Destroyer. So the first thing you do is you remove it off of the Gazanti. So you spend it, and then you add it to the Star Destroyer. Boom. That's how this card works. Some other nuances with this card, and that some people can get confused about. We'll say that this, for example, this Gazanti already has a navigate token. So again, the timing of this card is after the reveal command dial step. So what does it mean by that? Well, for example, the Gazanti, it's a command one ship, meaning it can only reveal, you only have the one command dial that you can reveal per turn, or for that turn. So you reveal the dial. Let's say that he already has a navigate command, or he has we'll say he has a concentrate fire command. So he reveals a concentrate fire dial, and he already has a navigate token on his ship. He would like to give that Star Destroyer that concentrate fire token, because maybe the Star Destroyer already has the navigate token. He doesn't need to give him another navigate. So when you reveal the dial, you have to immediately declare if you're using that dial or if you're turning it into a token. There is no wait period. As soon as you reveal a dial, you have to say, I'm either using this dial or I'm turning it into a token, and I'm banking a token. So if you say, well, I want to turn it into a token, it immediately then overwrites your navigate token. Or maybe you could say, I'm turning the navigate or the concentrate fire dial into a token, but I don't want to discard the navigate token. I want to keep the navigate token. But again, it overwrites whatever your current token is if you decide that you want to keep what you reveal. And then you can send that token over to the Star Destroyer. Because again, this CommsNet effect takes place after the reveal command dial step. So it's after you've revealed your dial, you've made that declaration of, are you going to keep the dial or turn it into a token? Then you replace any token, if you choose, with the new token, and then you can send that token off to anybody. So that's a confusion some people have. Some other things too to keep in mind if you're using effects like Ramus Antilles, where as soon as you reveal a dial, you get the dial effect and you also gain a token. That timing is at the reveal step. It's not after the reveal command dial step. So Ramus Antilles isn't affected. Another thing to keep in mind too is Thrawn. So Thrawn, he gives an extra command dial to all ships, and when Thrawn reveals that command dial, and the Gazanti reveals its command dial, you could, for example, tokenize Thrawn's dial to be a token of whatever you want to send, and then you can keep the other dial of what you want to use. For example, if the Thrawn dial was a navigate and the Gazanti reveals a navigate, you can tokenize either of those command dials because you resolve them one at a time in any order you prefer. Excuse me. So then you would tokenize one of those dials to navigate token, and then you could then use the navigate dial from your other one. You only are able to resolve this effect. So you wouldn't be able, for example, to tokenize Thrawn's dial, send it off, and then tokenize the other dial and send that off. You can only do that with one of them. But in the case of Thrawn, there's no multiple times that you can trigger this effect. It's only the one time because it specifically says you can only do one command token. So that is Star Wars Armada explained. Thanks for watching.